My name's Ian Aber, and this is Straight People. I'm here today with our guest, Tyler Hediger.
Yeah.
Did I get it right the first time?
You did.
I did it. Tyler, tell people where we met, because I think it's kind of a more interesting story than some of the other folks that I have on here. Because I only know you really through Backstory, I feel like, right?
Yeah. It was, what was that? Was it Relapse? No, what?
Yep, Relapse Theater.
Yeah, Relapse Theater. I showed up. I didn't heard about it through a mutual friend. Place to do open mics, and and then I didn't know what it was, and people were putting names in a hat. And I'm like, okay, I think this is part of the stand-up thing.
Okay.
And then we just sat down, and I'm like, there's a lot of people waiting outside.
Oh, so you had no idea?
No idea.
That's funny.
And then
so we used to do an open mic storytelling show is what we're talking about, and we would book it, and then also have people just come up. So the first time you ever came up to do that, you didn't understand what the...
Yeah, I had no idea. I thought it was just like you do 3-minute open mic, but then they're telling stories. I'm like, okay, oh man, I really hope he doesn't call my name. But then he doesn't call my name. What story am I going to tell?
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting there freaking out, and then you call my name.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to tell that story.
But then you came back quite a few times, I feel like.
Yeah, I came back a couple times until the storytelling was over. But and then started this night
They
gig.
canceled Backstory, and then Relapse closed mysteriously not long afterwards. I don't know if there's a correlation there. I feel like there.
I thought it was a fantastic idea.
Well, Backstory, just the history. It's almost the reason I'm doing the podcast too, because those kind of conversations that out of nothing, sometimes the funniest stuff would come up. Backstory was like a storytelling mic, because there's nowhere you can get. Especially when you're new, you can't get anywhere longer than 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So you get 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Now the conceit was that you had to share it on stage with myself or Lace or Andrew Wright or whoever, who would then interrupt you and be like, "What? No, what happened?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's where all the fun came from, because there was a lot of times where someone would get on stage and tell some story that they thought was just nothing, you know, just a silly little story from their childhood, and be like, "You committed 9 felonies, and it is the statute of limitations is not up. You should never tell that story." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there was a lot of that. I feel like your story sort of fell into the arena of what did we just hear? And so I don't know if you want to talk about any of those or not. But Tyler, I would say that you're someone who would come and stunt and have a story that everyone would be like, "What?" You know what I mean? There was a girl. The only other person I can think of that is more so than that was she only came once, and her whole story was about how her sister used to have sex with chickens when they lived in the farm.
No way.
Yeah, I know, right?
This isn't a thing.
So, but she said that she'd come and her sister would be naked. I don't know. And the chicken, so the chicken would be looking at her vaginal area and maybe do a little of that, or I don't know, peck at it. I don't know. There was a story she told, and that's what my reaction was like. Why? Why don't you have a series on FX yet?
Yeah, exactly. Someone's got to take the storyline. It's just brilliant.
So we'll start where we start with most of our folks here.
Okay.
We're only 3 minutes in so far. So Tyler, you've done some stand up.
Yeah.
Most of the people I know have done stand up. Mm-hmm. How do you think that's going for it?
Well, I
don't usually start there, but I'll start with you.
No, well, it's just been stay with me for 10 years. Once I knew you could do stand up for a profession, and that's actually realistic. So it stayed with me for 10 years, and then finally I was like, oh man, I've just got to do it. So I stopped really in the summer just because of the new gig I got.
Yeah,
we talked about.
Oh yeah, because you're working on 1 to 9. That's
so it's
kills it.
Yeah, and when you're open micer, it's Monday to Wednesdays really. Yeah. And then you got to show up 7:30.
Yeah, absolutely.
And stay there. So. I mean, it's the greatest thrill I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
When you actually get that reaction that you're looking for instead of just silence and terror. But yeah, honestly, the storytelling you did, you were so kind and nice to me, because that is an absurd story. I know it is.
Oh, absolutely. Well, half of that whole exercise is just letting the person without me like being like, all right, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Because like I don't know whether to believe.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Not necessarily yours specifically.
And this look, you're like, really?
Yeah, yeah. But there's a lot of times where people tell me a story. I'm just like, okay, all right, let's let you get it all the way out, and I'll make the jokes along the way. You know what I'm saying? Because there's other people who get up and they already have it all rehearsed. Do you know what I'm saying? So like,
and you're like almost
you're somebody who was at least just telling me a story. Like you weren't like. You didn't already have you didn't already have the beats of the jokes in the story, so it's like, okay, well that's easy to listen to, but but okay, so now we're about 5 minutes in. So that's usually when I'm like, are you a straight person? Are you? This is called Straight People. It's a podcast.
Yeah,
I don't interview just straight people, but I always like to ask, how do you identify?
How do I identify as straight?
Did you were about to like, how do you think I identify? Were you about to ask me that?
I was just
how
say,
old do you
how do the podcast go when it's like, what do you ask?
When they're a gay person?
Straight people are just like, we're just talking about like.
Well, if it's a gay person, then I'm like, aren't they the worst? And they're like, yeah, right. And we have 30 minutes. Like,
yeah, there you go.
Easily fill 30 minutes with how terrible and not.
Time flies by.
Well, no, it's when you're gay, everyone's like, how do you know when you were gay? And when you're straight, it's just like you're just like. You're just default, you know. You don't know you're the default character. You don't know you're brushing your teeth with your finger.
You're the Wanda Sykes of the show, the movie.
I don't know about Wanda Sykes. Why Wanda Sykes?
Well, just
don't be picking on Wanda Sykes. She's a lesbian, you know that, right?
Yeah.
Has a
but then she's also like
hot
that
French wife.
So, well,
she's doing all right.
Yeah. No, I'm saying like you're saying like the straight people are maybe the main characters in the movie, but like.
No, I didn't say the main characters.
Okay.
See, that's interesting that you think that. That you think I said main characters. I said default. Like that nobody's like, like you're a plain chicken breast that nobody's done anything to. You haven't been crusted, you haven't been marinated, you haven't been grilled, nothing. You're just
you're just, I love that. Yeah, I'll take it. Maybe a little ketchup.
You're as if I was gonna say like what character you'd play like in a movie where everybody's food, you could be a plain chicken breast.
I'm
skinless,
okay with
boneless.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Very, very little seasoning. It's just,
no seasoning.
Let's just do no.
I mean, if boiled in water is the seasoning, then I don't know. Yeah, so you're a classic straight. You're a classic
straight.
Yeah.
I'm not. Once
you get hit on by gay guys though, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've definitely been confused, or maybe guys have hoped. Guys have hoped that.
I thought you said you've been confused. I was like, okay.
No, I have not been confused. Okay. No. Well, I mean, and then when I learned the scale,
a gay guy come along with you and like you like dangled some keys in front of you, and you're like, what? Am I gay?
Yeah. It's like a cat. I'm just distracted.
Yeah.
I've been my first gay bar I went to in New York. It was kind of like. Wait, where are we going? And then you just don't, as a straight person, you're just like, and the thought of it is always more terrifying than it actually is. And then you're like, and then I realized when I first walked in, and I realized just in 1 second, I knew what a girl felt like just walking into a normal bar. Yeah. Because you think as a guy, you just see a girl and you're like, oh, yeah, okay, you just do one second scan and then you go back to do your thing. Yeah. And then I walked in. All the guys turned around, 1 second scan, and then just went back doing their thing. Okay. And it was just really, really interesting. And then a couple guys came up to me and was like, hey, I have a feeling you're a straight guy, but just wanted to shoot my shot. I'm like, hey, appreciate it. Nice to meet you. Can't help you out any more than that.
Wow, that's really classy of them to be like, just come up and Usually it's a little bit more graphic, I would think.
Yeah, that's maybe, I don't know. Yeah, but it was, I enjoyed the experience, and I encourage any straight person to go to a gay bar if you haven't.
Don't listen to him.
Why not?
Stay out of the gay bars.
No, because you don't want us.
No, I'm just kidding. It's fine. I don't like straight people coming to the gay bar and like leaving with higher self-esteem than they had when they got there. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's not what I'm saying. Yeah.
I don't want them to come in and be like, oh, they all think I'm hot. No, I want you to go and be like, yeah, you're a 6 in the gay world. You might be an 8 in the straight world, or a 9 or a 10 in the straight world, but you're not. There's better looking. We could do better.
The ironic thing was there was one other straight guy in there, and he was like, yeah, I don't know how I got here, but I'm here. And then I just grabbed onto him, and then he was like, dude, seriously, I am straight. I'm like, no, I'm straight too. And I was trying to convince him the whole time that I was straight. I'm like, hey man, maybe we get we're just talking about football, let's just exchange numbers. And like, dude, I'm like chasing him out of the bar
and be straight together.
And he's like, dude, and I didn't get his number.
Yeah, I can see why. That's bad. So are you single, ready to mingle, or are you dating?
Single, on the Hinge.
Yeah, you're on that's the new one, right?
That's
So what's the trick there? Because I know there's Bumble where the women have to initiate.
Yeah, I mean, my sister. I hate dating apps. I hate it so much. I asked you if you're single,
and the first thing you say is my sister. Okay. So what about your sister?
My sister convinced me. She was on Hinge, and she's like, "Hey, it's not that bad."
Yeah.
You know, and because of that, you know, because I work nights, it's hard to be a normal person and meet people. So.
Yeah. So you're just
single.
When was the last time you were dating somebody? I don't think you've dated anyone since I've known you.
Yeah, no.
But not that long. I've only known you for a few years.
I don't count. Like, it was nothing really longer than a month, but I had a long distance relationship it was like 4 or 5 year relationship.
Long distance?
Back like 4.5 years ago, I guess.
5 year long distance?
Yeah.
Where'd they live? Where'd you live?
It was, she was going to school in Notre Dame. I was going to South Carolina and then Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you both lived in Atlanta or never? You've never lived in the same city?
No, we never lived in the same city, no.
Interesting. 4.5 year long distance relationship.
Yeah.
What is that about?
Well, it's, I met her when I was 10 or 12 and it was like kind of so sappy and romantic.
So you were like high school sweethearts and stuff?
No, we just like she was from New Jersey, and I would go up to see my family all the time in New Jersey, and then she would like the family was so close, I'd see her for family reunions. So okay, kind of I was like, I met like the person I want to marry at a family reunion. Like, once. Yeah.
So did you go to like prom with this person, or
no? It was just it was a full on just like attraction to her, and then, excuse me. That's lovely for the podcast, right? And then it was just like
I just like that you're getting more nervous.
I know.
The more I ask, I'm gonna break you, bro. No, I'm just kidding.
So it just started like with one text.
So I don't really understand because I've never done a long distance. So like, how frequently did you see each other? Was it like on the phone a lot? Was it like
it was a lot of texting.
A lot of texting.
I hate talking on the phone. I'm just the worst at it.
So for 4.5 years you had a relationship and you never talked to her on the phone, or like
it was FaceTime or like video chats.
Yeah, well that's fun.
And then we see each other like 2 or 3 months.
Did you have a lot of phone sex, chat sex, any of that?
There was some sexting.
Oh yeah.
Eventually, yeah.
Eventually,
it wasn't like a written ish right off the bat.
Who initiated it?
Probably me.
Probably you. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
But then I fell asleep too many times.
So you'd fall asleep while she would be.
Yeah. She didn't like that.
That's
because usually it was like the moment. Yeah, she was ready to finish the sex.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I'd fall asleep. I'm like, I'm sorry.
That's pretty bad.
Probably.
So why did y'all break up? I mean, if that's not the reason, why did y'all break up? You fell asleep while I was masturbating.
It was.
That's pretty bad. I mean, that's got to be up there. What kind of card do you send for that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's you don't. You just try to hope she forgives you and forgets about it. Why we break up? Just we weren't gonna marry each other.
Okay.
Just say that. Yeah.
Is that okay?
And she started dating her friend.
Oh, so she's. It wasn't gonna work out, mostly because she started dating somebody else. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So did she break up with you after she started dating this person, or like?
I think there was some emotional crossover because we started with some crossover. Yeah. And so I think it's just like, it helped her like.
So this is like, how old are you? You're like 18 to 22.
This was we dated from 22 to 24.
Wow.
Yeah. So
wait, 22 to 24, and you said it was 4.5 years.
Oh, excuse me, 20 0.
Oh, 20 0 through 24. Okay. 24, yeah. Look, I'm gonna catch it. I'm joking. No, so you spent that's pretty. Like you gave her pretty quality years there.
Yeah,
did you regret that?
Kind of the prime years.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, those are the prime pump years, from what I understand.
Well, as you know, there wasn't much pumping.
I mean, goddamn, apparently not.
Yeah, no.
So do you feel like you've been making up for lost time since then, or?
No, I'm the weird straight guy. Like, I am a Christian. Okay. I'm not a very good Christian, but I try. It's kind of like.
It's a weird pivot, but I'll allow it.
Well, it's just like if you're doing that, then if you think that.
I mean, Jesus wasn't fucking.
Marriage. No, he was not. We don't think he was.
Yeah, but I mean, he never goes down on the
no, Mary Magdalene.
No, eating ain't cheating. I think is that one of his. He said that, right?
Yeah.
But
that's Thessalonians.
Yeah. That's the whole fishes from loaves thing. I thought he was sort of pro-sex, but is he not?
I can't remember what his take is.
So how are you a bad Christian? You're a Christian in the sense that you're ultimately trying to find somebody.
See how I'm like
I know, right? I know, I love it.
Getting close.
So you're ultimately trying to find someone like a worthy Christian.
Worthy. No.
Like a Christian, a little fellow Christian.
Well, yeah, I think
that y'all can like.
I do think that people, if you like find your life partner, you should believe in the same like belief system.
Pray to the same God.
Yeah, I think that's like it's just like it crosses off a lot of boxes, and I think
it just makes things easier.
Makes things a lot easier down the road. When you think like two totally opposite things.
But what are you? You said you're a Christian, which means you're a Protestant. What is that? I was raised Catholic.
I was raised Catholic too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
So are you still Catholic? Or are you like a?
I really don't.
Crazy like a Methodist now. I was a Methodist in 7th grade.
No, it was split between Catholicism and Presbyterian.
Presbyterian.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's just kind of like.
So where do you go to church now?
Yeah.
Every Sunday?
No.
No? How many Sundays?
It's like 2 to 3 Sundays.
Are you in a long distance relationship with Jesus?
Well, yeah, I didn't go to church for the last year, and then now this new year I'm trying to go back. So.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, just kind of going back, like it. Would just like trying to make up
So can you not meet a girl through the church? Is that not like I figured that's a thing, right?
Yeah, that's very much a thing.
Going to church,
you see it,
looking good on Sundays. And have you dated anybody from your church?
No, not that I know of.
Do you know that that's just a bad idea for you or something? Or
my thing is like I'm classic. Like, well, I don't want to mess this up.
Don't want to shit where you eat.
Yeah, don't shit. Yeah,
that's how my dad would say it. Is you don't shit where you eat. You don't shit where you eat. Okay, well, interesting. So you're a long distance relationship having,
and that's the only relationship, really.
That's the only.
So I've never had a real relationship.
That's a little weird. How old are you?
That is weird. I'm 29.
29. Never had a real. Like relationship.
Well, and those couple years after, I was kind of like terrified. Do you think that
there's something there?
Yeah. I was terrified of commitment and scared.
So you don't think you're terrified of commitment now?
I'm less terrified. Like, I know there were girls that I could have dated when I was in New York.
Oh, I could have had them. Yeah, okay.
No, not that.
Could have been a contender. But everybody wants me. I walk in the gay bar, they all
watch me like, hey, let's go out. She's like, never was interested in you at all. Yeah. I was just bored. Yeah.
Your only long-term relationship has been a long-distance relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a big minus, buddy. I hate to tell you.
Yeah.
So when you tell girls that, when you go on a date, or women.
I don't tell them.
You don't tell them?
No.
They don't ask when was your last relationship?
No.
What?
No, it doesn't.
Why would they not ask that? I guess you don't want to be.
I don't think it's not initially.
Well, like by date 3, you want some like history, right?
Yeah, but again, I don't.
I'd be like, can I get your credit score and a blood sample, and can I get your full Christian name so I can run it through the? Do you know what I mean? Like
Christian.
So you've never had that conversation with a woman where you're like, the only relationship I ever had was this chick that I was friends with when I was 10, and then she went to Notre Dame.
Yeah, I've talked about it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was like right off the bat, and you talk about it, but it was not recently.
No one's ever been like, whoa, what? You never record scratch, coffee spit, anything like that?
If they do, they hide it well. And maybe that's why it ends pretty quickly, because they're like, this guy doesn't know what
So what's the next longest relationship you've had?
What do you mean? No, I've never had.
So that's it.
Yeah.
So you've dated for 4.5 years and then not at all.
Nothing. Yeah.
Not even like. So how many? What's the most dates you've gone on? Like so, however many dates you went on with her. What's the next level down?
A month of dating.
A month. Mm-hmm. And how does that end?
It ends with, hey, I started dating a girl. Okay. Me not saying that, her saying that.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And yeah.
And how did that? And that was how long ago was that?
That was the summer.
I like you have a big smile on your face.
It's just so funny that like, okay, I know I definitely don't want to date you. By the way, I don't want to date you so much that I'm gonna start.
She didn't become a lesbian at you. Do you know what I mean?
I know,
she was a lesbian the whole
personal.
time. You just unlocked that level in her. Do you know?
Yeah. You're welcome. Yeah. It was funny. It was a funny text to get.
Oh, she texted you though.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a solid text.
She's gonna be a great lesbian. Sounds amazing. She's gonna be breaking up with. See, she can't be breaking up with a girl via text. She doesn't even know that.
Hopefully she's bi, or else she was. I don't know. It was.
Hopefully she was bi.
Well, because then it's even more confusing if she was just.
She went full lesbian.
Yeah.
Well, like
maybe you can help
sexuality
me out there.
is fluid, and so sometimes you need to like sometimes you got to check off some boxes. You know what I'm saying? Like to make sure.
I don't have that feeling.
Well, no, that's not when you're straight. You don't ever have that feeling because when you're straight, you're just born straight, and nobody tells you, "Are you sure?" Do you know what I mean?
I mean, there is like, it's not like all straight people are zeros.
No, I know, but like society doesn't. So like as a gay person, not now. Like I've been married for 20 years, so nobody's being like, "Are you sure?" You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I have a fucking mortgage, and you know what I mean. And shared history with somebody. No one's questioning it now. But when I was young, when I was like in my 20s, and still, you know, people were after it or whatever. There was a lot of like, you know, women that I knew that were like, "Are you sure?" And nobody ever once. I have a brother who's about 4 years older than me. I remember my brother, no one's ever once like come up to him and been like, "Are you sure you're straight?" Do you know what I'm saying? And so like as a gay person, it's external and internal. So you try out your whatever.
I can't imagine that, like being in that, like I don't know, just like, oh, you thinking, well, this is what society maybe think, or maybe I'm missing something that I don't know about. And then,
well, like, you either know what you want or you don't. I mean, it's like, you know.
I think we all know gay people that have had sex with the opposite sex.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, well,
it's
maybe.
The worst. No, I'm just kidding. No, but it's because, but that was like, because I wanted to be normal. What I thought was normal. And now I realize that that's not the case. But to have that
pressure, like,
well, yeah. I mean, that's of course, as a straight person, you can't.
I can't even comprehend that.
You can't even be in a long-term relationship. You have your own problems.
I can't have a serious relationship.
Tyler, don't worry about
I don't want anyone to come in here.
Being gay in society, you worry about just going on 5 dates with somebody. Just 5 dates with somebody. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's terrifying. So
do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have a sister.
And is she older or younger?
She's younger.
And does she have a kid yet?
No.
So the pressure's on for an heir to the
Hediger throne.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Like Hediger hierarchy.
Well, your parents must be like just desperate for a grandchild. You're 29 years old.
If they they're hiding it well.
You think so?
Yeah.
Really?
I think they're suggesting more and more like, hey, this girl has family.
So if you did this, if you went, did you say a family with a lake house?
Yeah, that was the last one.
Wow, they're trying to marry you off like an Indian princess. Okay. Yeah. Now, like if you showed up though, like and said, you showed up with a little pair of baby boots, like I have some news.
Oh, that'd be.
What would they do? Would they freak out?
They'd freak out.
Yeah, but more so because you're gonna have a baby out of wedlock, or okay.
And that like you're not dating anyone.
Oh, so they like to know what's up. So so how many?
And I want them to know.
How many women have you introduced to your parents?
2.
Tumbleweeds. Damn it!
Right?
Okay,
I went back, and that is including
one of them is
that, and then the high school girlfriend I had, whose name I don't have to say it.
Wait, what's the high school girlfend?
She was named.
How long did you date her?
That was a long distance relationship because I forgot.
That was a long distance. Was she in high school and you were in college? What were you talking about?
It was she decided 3 months into the relationship that she was going to go to golf school.
Okay.
And so it'd become this professional golfer.
That is like white people problems all fucking day.
And
where'd she go to Hilton Head? Where's golf school?
Yeah, I think it was in Hilton Head. It was a joke. I think it was. I went to Hank Haney Golf School.
Okay.
And then I went to go see her play once. I'm like, you're not going to be a professional golfer.
Was that why you broke up with her? Because she wasn't going to be a
No, I don't. I just.
Why'd y'all break up?
I think I just lost interest. I don't know. It was back and it was this. I was a senior. It was the spring. I'm like,
you had senioritis, so you broke up with her.
It was senior spring, and then it was just we only were dating officially, or like 3 months, and then she left. And it was just like.
Okay, so it was just you only did it for 3 months.
Yeah, I did say the worst thing to her I've ever said to a girl.
Oh God, what is it?
Well, it meant to be
he's saying this with a smile on his face.
It meant to be a compliment.
He hasn't stopped smiling since he sat down.
Yeah, and my shoulders have been concave, and I'm just holding myself in the fetal position. But
if I can fix this one straight person, everybody, this is the whole podcast is worth it.
No, it was my first time. Like I've had kissed like one girl before this, and then it was like when you're first making out with someone and it's great. It wasn't. Okay. It was Young Life Camp girl. Okay. As you do for
Young Life Camp.
Christians, you go to Christian camps, and it's like you really just go and see if you can get a kiss or get a girlfriend.
Okay.
But yeah, and then she was just shirt off. She was sitting on top of me. The Wii music background was in the background.
Okay.
We thought that playing would convince the parents upstairs that we're playing Wii. But of course, but 3 hours of just that song was not happening. And then she had her shirt off, and then she was just like looking down. I was like, yeah. I think my mom's been talking about getting a boob job, and I'm like, oh no, you're great. And in my mind, I'm thinking because she's athletic, she'd like to hear this. Like, no, they're more like pecs. than booze. And she just went like, and it's just covered up. She's like, and then she just got off me like, no. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, yeah, I think that's the worst thing I ever said. But yeah, I don't know where we're going here, but
we're just whatever.
I'm just venting everything.
Whatever terrible memory you need to get. I'm just joking. But so you told a woman while she was
on top of me,
bare-chested on top of you,
that like, no, they're more like
incredibly tender and vulnerable
the most vulnerable moment I think you could be as a girl.
Yeah, and then you were like, yeah.
As a 17, you're a junior in high school, so
I know, but you said it like it was a plus, like that the more masculine she appeared, the better.
Well, I was dumb. It wasn't smart. It wasn't smart. I'm not very smart.
So you've been presented with titties since then and not said dumb shit like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've probably said dumb stuff too, but
what's the dumb? I don't even want to know. I don't even if that's.
Would you like to know? I was thinking about this the other day. Would you like to know when I learned I was straight?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is appropriate, right?
Yeah. When did you know? You should have known.
It was again at another.
Known the whole time.
The first crush was always Jasmine. I mean, from Aladdin.
Oh, I thought you meant Jasmine Guy from a different world, who played Miss Whitley Gilbert. But yeah, okay, Jasmine from
Jasmine.
That's
from
a more
Aladdin.
That's a more straight one, Jasmine from Aladdin.
Yeah,
like if your first crush was Jasmine Guy, then you're a flame. So Jasmine.
But then the real first life person was this. It was at another family reunion.
Okay.
and I was like 4 or 3 dancing with my 7 or 8 year old cousin.
Okay.
And apparently, don't even know this is possible, but I grew a little hard willy just dancing with her. And then my cousin was like, and just like screamed, look away. And I ran up to my mom and dad and all my it's a family reunion, so all aunts and uncles are there. And I'm just like, Dad, Mom, what's wrong? And then my dad was like, yes, he's straight. And my mom was like, I think you've got other problems to deal with. He just got a boner dancing with his cousin.
Wow.
And
wait, your dad really fist pumped and was like,
I don't know how he was, but he was like,
Jesus Christ.
But he was like, yeah, but he's straight. I'm like,
that's so weird that you look at like a 2 and 3 year old and you're like, he needs to butch it up. Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, I joke about it. I mean, I don't know if he was like that, but it was.
So
kind of bizarre.
You got a visible erection.
Yeah, as a little 4-year-old.
Is this a humble brag about your the size of your dick?
No.
Okay, I want to make sure because it really feels
talking
like
about it as a 4-year-old. Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying then it grew proportionally with you.
No, it was just it was.
So you sprung a little 4-year-old chub dancing with your cousin.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, no, it doesn't get better.
Like, how do you go on a date with somebody and like how do you tell somebody all those stories and then be like, yeah,
you just
but
tell
now you've told me and they're so now someone's gonna Google your name.
Oh God, that's right.
I mean, you know what? We're just gonna call you Tyler H. I don't want you to die alone. Okay. I don't think you're ever gonna be.
I told that story to the person. I'm not gonna say the person that is a bartender at one of the stand-up bars, gigs, and I told that story to them, and she said, "Oh my God, I've been wanting to say this one time. I had sex with my cousin for the whole weekend, and I was like, we're the same." I'm like, that's not the same. And she's like, I'm like, but like, did you regret it? I was like, no, best sex I ever had.
First cousin?
First cousin.
Oh my God.
I know. I was like,
well, now I don't know. I don't even know who you're talking about. I don't want to know. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you.
Wow.
You definitely know them though.
Wow. Okay. Well, there you go. Straight people.
Have sex with cousins.
The 10 people listening to the.
Yeah. Apologies.
Okay. Wow. That's a wild ride.
But that was the first time I learned.
That you learned that you were straight.
Officially.
So have you ever messed around with a guy? Have you kissed a guy? Have you touched somebody else's penis?
A guy tried to kiss me.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it. It was a friend.
Where'd you go to school in South Carolina? Mm-hmm. What school?
University of South Carolina.
Oh, in Columbia?
USC.
Yeah, that's a very, I wouldn't want to be gay there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I mean,
if you're going to be there, you should be straight.
To be conservative and Christian. I mean, I'm not conservative, but like it is. I didn't realize. I thought just a state over because Atlanta and Columbia are like two totally seem like pretty much.
Columbia's small by comparison to Atlanta.
And then you don't realize the towns around it are so small, and it's like, okay, we need to get married at 22.
What's interesting about South Carolina, it's like, okay, Columbia's the capital. Yeah. But like culturally, Charleston's the capital.
Oh yeah.
So like what you'd expect in Columbia is actually you need to go to Charleston for. You know what I mean in terms of like progressiveness and all that. Except then also in Charleston, there's sort of like this like rich white old money kind of vibe too. Yeah. So it like
but
totally.
You're gonna find it any southern state.
No, not to that degree. Not like Savannah and Charleston. There's like I've never done comedy in Charleston where I wasn't heckled by somebody with a trust fund. Do you know what I mean? Like that there's somebody who's like, oh, this comedy is just for me tonight. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And there's nothing that makes me madder than like that. Do you know what it's? But that's interesting. That's funny. Yeah, Columbia is interesting because it's not like if Columbia and Charleston were combined, like as one city, that would be like in Atlanta to me. You know what I mean? Because it would have both sides of the. Yeah, but Columbia is sort of, but it's sort of come into its own because like I had a friend who went to college there in the late or mid '90s, and so I would go quite a bit.
Oh, I loved it.
I've been back a lot recently, and it's way better than it was. You know, they have a comedy club now, the Comedy Closet. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Okay. Shout out to the Comedy Closet. Okay, well, I think we're getting towards the end of this. Are there any more straight confessions you want to get out there? So wait, let's take a minute. Okay. So we talked about all of all the relationships that haven't worked out. Yeah. What are you looking for exactly? Give me the list. Give me the list. And be honest. You can start with her. You can start with her tits. I don't care.
No,
she can be. You can start with pretty. She doesn't have to be smart. I don't. You know what I mean? Like, just be honest. Yeah. What are you looking for?
No, fit. I mean, we're just talking.
Are you even looking? Are you even looking?
I am looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really though?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do. I have been guilty of being too picky. It's like, dude. Okay, you're okay looking. You're not that good looking. Like,
oh wow. Okay.
It's like my friends are just being honest with me. Like, hey. You're being.
You need to calm down.
Yeah. And I'm like, thank you. I needed to hear that. I'll take that and run with it. But what am I looking for? I just You're
29 years old.
Yeah.
You need to know.
Yeah.
You should have an answer for this.
Okay. Well, Christian girl who's athletic, preferably smarter than me because I'm not that smart.
Okay. I believe that.
Yeah. Exactly. I know, the shocker. And that. I just can understand that I'm an idiot, and if you can just like laugh at some of the like stupid stuff I say, then I'm down for it. But if you're like, oh, what? Wait, what? And then it just goes over your head. Like,
so not too judgmental.
Or you're too prideful. Yeah, I hate people that think they're better than they actually are. They like.
Okay.
Oh, I hate it so much. It's maybe the worst quality someone can have that I think that you can have in your heart is just like.
If you could describe the
lack of empathy,
the experience of dating in Atlanta in one word, what would it be?
Purgatory.
Okay.
There's the Catholicism.
Yeah. So it's just a waiting room. Okay.
Well, yeah, and it's just been I haven't been looking for, when I first came back. It was a lot. I mean, when you get out of a relationship and you get broken up with, it was like a lot of
Wait, who broke up with you?
She broke up with me.
Who did?
The long distance one.
Because she was dating her friend.
Yeah, she wanted. Yeah, and it was.
Because I will point out at the beginning of this, you said that y'all just because it just didn't work out, and then you said because she was dating her friend.
Well,
and
that's
now
why it didn't work out.
It has been upgraded to that she broke up with you.
Yeah, she broke up with me for sure.
Okay,
yeah.
So you got dumped.
Yeah, I got dumped.
You got dumped.
Who I thought I was going to marry, and like
you thought you were going to marry.
Yeah,
did you have a plan?
Yeah, there was a full-on plan.
Yeah. Did she know that?
When you go to these churches, it's like...
Did she know that?
Yeah.
She did.
We read books.
What books did you read? Together? You read books together?
Yeah, read books
like about being Christian and in love and stuff?
Yeah, when you're a college Christian right out, you're just trying to take everything you learn from other new married couples, which is like a month in, or just pastors. And
so your friend group, are all your friends married?
I've been to 39 weddings.
30? Are you kidding? Wow.
39 weddings. Been in 7 or 8.
And have any of those people started to get divorced yet?
One has. And one's on the way.
How mighty the dominoes crumble.
Well, 1 out of 39 at this point,
That's a lot of weddings.
Great.
But that number's going to creep up. Like pretty much everyone I know who was married like in their early 20s, with very few exceptions, are either divorced or dead. So, what? I'm just saying.
Perfect time to do an evil laugh.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, God rest their souls and all that.
For sure.
Yeah, the ones who are dead seem to be the most happy, honestly.
Yeah.
They complain the least on Facebook. That's what I've noticed. All right. Well, I think we're at the end of this. So you can tell people where they can find you on social media or Hinge or the Young Christian Athletes directory or whatever.
Young Life FCA.
Yeah.
I don't know. My name's Tyler Hediger.
That's it.
There's only one Tyler Hediger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well. Okay. That's
because I've done stand up. Yeah, but I'm not a stand up. I don't do things.
So you don't want followers
for comedy. Yeah.
Okay.
The handle's Tyler.
All right, ladies.
The handle's Tyler Hediger.
Ladies, if this is what you want,
all the ladies listening.
Well, I'm just saying, you do not even know.
Okay.
All the ladies who are listening who think that they can fix Tyler.
Yeah.
I gotta say, outside's looking pretty good. You got some inside work to do, sir.
Yeah. Therapy helps.
Well, do you go to therapy?
Yeah.
You do? How frequently?
Once a month.
I'd step that up. But
Does this count as a session?
I feel like it should. I feel like you should.
Honestly, I've talked to you more than I have.
I feel like you should make your therapist listen to this episode and be like, "Hey, can you do this with me a little bit more?" Yeah, exactly. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. All right, okay. Well, you can just find Tyler if you so choose, and you can spell his name. Don't spell it though.
Okay.
Don't make it easy for him.
Yeah.
And
it is hard to spell.
You can follow me at abearcomedian because I do need the followers and the likes. And buy a t-shirt and like this podcast and subscribe to it and write a review about it and maybe get a tattoo of the word straight people above your pussy. I don't fucking know.
Sounds great.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Say goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.
All right, thank you. This has been Straight People. I'm your neighbor. Take care.